You're listening to the world-famous White Roof Radio, Woofcast number 635, recorded December 13th, 2017. Tonight brought to you by CravenSpeed.com, MotoringStripes.com, and OutMotoring.com, and MiniDoMore.com. Mini Performance, Speed, and Trailers. That's OutMotoring.com, MiniDoMore.com. Do it. Thank you. Hey, everybody, it's DB in Arizona bringing you the last episode of 2017 of the world-famous White Roof Radio. We'll call this this is not really a Christmas show. We're not really discussing much about Christmas. We're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. Full crew, too, which is pretty nice. My good pal, my good buddy Todd Pearson is with us, as always, from MotoringStripes.com. Todd, say hi.
I am here.
The good Reverend from Detroit Tune, DetroitTune.com, Mr. Chad Miller. Chad, say hi.
Hello.
And Gabe is here yet again. We've been like a real streak with getting Gabe on the show. This is awesome. MotoringFile.com, of course.
It's because you guys are awesome, and I love to be here.
Aw. Aw, that's sweet. And then, of course...
Except for Brian.
And
I love you.
And then Brian from Ride Bikes Radio and other things. He's with us as well. Brian, say hello.
Hello.
And
hello, Gabe.
As I already mentioned...
a whole lot of love in the room tonight.
There's got to be a lot of love tonight because it's the Christmas show. This is going to be a fun show. It's going to be polite. It's not going to be polite. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time tonight.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, exactly. I want to have a little bit of housekeeping to take care of really quick. I just want to remind you guys, if you missed it on Facebook or on Twitter, that White Roof Radio, Ride Bikes Radio, now available in the Spotify app if you're looking to, listen to us in another way other than the podcast app on your iPhone, or if you're on Android and you're tired of the shabby choices for podcast apps on the Android phone, highly recommend checking out Spotify. It's actually a pretty decent experience for podcast listening, so check that out. And actually, that's all I had. And like I mentioned, this will be the last episode for White Roof Radio for 2017, giving the guys the rest of the year off, and we'll reconvene next year with
Hey,
more.
God, this schedule is killing me. I'm joking. It's a joke.
Oh, got it. Okay, Gabe, just shut up. Nobody cares because you're driving. Gabe currently is driving a hybrid Countryman. That's the current, Motoring File test car. He's going to talk about that. We are going to have some fun with Craigslist this evening as well. And you know how we do. Anything else happens to pop up, we're going to get to all that here in just a minute. Really quick, guys. You might have enough time before Christmas to punch up outmotoring.com. And even if you don't have enough time, I still want you to get over there and get yourself something ordered. He's got door busters and stocking stuffers. Not just stocking stuffers, but door busters as well. You don't need a code. Nothing. All you do is add the stuff to your cart. You're going to save like 83% on like a whole bunch of stuff. Outmotoring logoed stuff, sport badges, lanyards, JCW keychains. This is all like cool stocking stuffer stuff for your Mini Cooper enthusiast in your life. Grill badge holder? You're going to need a grill badge holder so you can get grill badges. You need a toque, a mini toque, an outmotoring logo polo, whatever you need. There's a whole bunch of stuff over there, and it's all right now. A bunch of it's on sale. For the stuff that's not on sale, you're already subscribed to the Outmotoring email newsletter so that you actually get your own 5% discount code. Yes, it is good in December. Yes, it is good for Christmas. Very cool stuff. He actually has a special one just for gifts for Christmas stuff. It's gift 3. Make sure you enter that. You get 5% discount code for December and a bunch of other stuff. A lot of stuff at Outmotoring. $195 or more, you spend that much money, free shipping pretty much on everything that if you spend that much money, he's going to ship it to you for free. Everything that you need for your Mini, every part, every accessory, factory parts, Outmotoring's got you covered on that too. Think of Outmotoring as your parts desk in the cloud, if you will, and a full line, ever-growing line of Aston Martin parts as well for those of you also so afflicted. Go over there, check it all out, and do it quick so you get your stuff before Christmas. And, of course, our friends over at Outmotoring, outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and watches. It's outmotoring.com. That watches, and then Gabe's favorite, like to point out, shoes. Aaron's got a full selection of shoes over there.
Really?
And you got to go buy that stuff. Remember, we were talking about this before, but the reason why he's carrying Aston Martin parts is we're pretty sure he owns an Aston Martin now, and boy.
And he needs parts.
He needs parts, and he needs money for parts. Good grief.
Clearly. Sell more
Everybody knows owning an Aston Martin is like owning a classic Beetle, right?
No, it's not.
No, because a classic
Beetles run no matter what.
and a classic
is the opposite.
A classic Beetle you can repair with a Phillips head screwdriver and a
it's
pressure
a different
wrench.
philosophy of not running. A Beetle is not a system where one thing breaks, it doesn't run.
Right.
It only doesn't run if everything breaks.
Right.
Whereas an Aston Martin, the entire system shuts down if one thing breaks.
Remember,
different philosophy.
Remember, kids, with a Volkswagen Beetle, old school air-cooled Volkswagen Beetle, should your accelerator cable actually break, you can just rig up a piece of twine that goes from the carburetor into the driver's side door, and you can drive it by hand.
Makes you wonder about World War II, really.
my dad had a Beetle.
That's why they lost the war, Gabe.
How? No, that's my point. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's like, wow. If Lucas, Electronics was somehow in charge of. Well, anyway.
Yeah, then it would have been a whole other thing.
Back to the show. I'm excited about this Craigslist thing. My computer's at 33%, so I've got to talk slow so it doesn't go down.
We're going to have some fun with Craigslist. Gabe, before we do that, let's just hear some initial thoughts about the Countryman E hybrid that you've got currently in the test garage.
Well, let's go ahead and go with the full name. This is the Mini Countryman SE. It's also known as the PHEV, and it's also known as the Countryman E. What that means to you and I is that this is the plug-in Mini. This is the plug-in Mini Countryman.
Right.
So this is a car that retails for about $36K, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It starts at 36.
It's got all-in 220 horsepower, 200 and how many torques, Brian?
280 something, I think.
Yes.
Wow.
So I've been driving it since Monday. I've got a lot of thoughts, a lot of observations. So number one, can you guys guess? I've driven the JCW Clubman and the Countryman hybrid back to back. Can you guess which one is faster?
I'm going to say the Countryman. Because it's electric.
Yeah. Well, the hybrid in E mode in max.
There's no question after driving the two back to back in various forms which one's faster. It is the JCW.
No,
and I'm shocked.
Nice.
I'm shocked by that. I'm shocked.
Nice.
And I don't know if
I'm happy about
that. The cold temps. I don't know what it is, but the only time the Countryman is faster, or I'd say maybe about the same MPH, the same quickness, would be maybe from like 20 to 60, but which is surprising. It's actually not 0 to 30, which is what you would expect. The way they've tuned the electric engine, or the electric motor, I should say, is not necessarily a wall of torque like you get in a Tesla or even an i3. It sort of works in concert with even in all E mode. I mean, that's the thing that's really surprised me, Brian, is that it's not in just electric mode. It's not fast.
No, it's heavy too.
It's actually a dog, and so that's the other thing that's interesting about it. It's heavy. Mm-hmm. It's way heavier. So there's so many different comparisons, and I need the time to write all these different comparisons because I want to compare the Clubman JCW to this. And I mean, the Clubman is lighter than the Countryman, but it's very close to the Countryman JCW. So I think the Countryman JCW compared to the Countryman hybrid is interesting because the price is very similar, and on paper the figures are actually very similar, but the performance, as you know, Brian, is radically different.
Oh yeah.
Just so for one, when I'm driving the Mini E or the Countryman E, there's no blap 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 as I as I let off the gas. Which is always a crowd pleaser, but it's also, I mean, it's just a completely different experience. Even in an automatic in the JCW, there's no paddles there in the hybrid. It is a very different experience. It's not I would say a driver oriented experience.
Well, that car is not designed for the person, the customer that's going to buy a JCW. They're two totally different people. Yeah. So
as heir to the motor and file throne, I'm here to give you the perspective of the enthusiast, and so I think it's fair to say that the Countryman hybrid, as from somebody who cares about driving's perspective, that's not a sentence, but I'm going to make it.
Sure.
It's not as satisfying. It's just not. So there's two things about that I find interesting. Number one, the weight. The weight is high. Do you know the weight offhand, Brian?
It's like 3,600 pounds, something like that.
It has a floor full of batteries, right?
It is 1,000 pounds heavier than not just the F56, but than the i3.
Yikes.
The electric i3. And so when you drive the i3, which I just did recently, one will notice that while 0 to 60 times aren't, dramatically faster, it feels effing quick. It feels really quick, and it feels like it's fun. It's fun to drive. I love the i3. Buy them 3 years old, get them for a song, and they're such great cars. Yeah. Whereas the Countryman does not have that sort of like immediate thrust. It does not have that wall of torque. And part of it is frankly, it's just the fact that it's heavy. It's 1,000 pounds more weight.
Let's put it in perspective. It's 250, almost 300 pounds heavier than the standard all-four Countryman S.
Right.
Okay, so what's the advantage? What kind of mileage do you get out of this thing then?
About 12, 13 miles per gallon right now. No, I'm joking. So so that's the thing. Like, I mean, I'm obviously giving you some interesting observations that sound like sort of like I don't mean to dog it, but I think what I found that I love. One more thing I don't like.
Okay.
One more thing.
Because
I'm slow, I've been getting out of the car with it still, using air quotes here, guys, still running.
Oh, yeah.
And then I lock it, and it honks at me. and I just look around like I pretend like, who honked? It's not my car. I get back and I shut it off.
It doesn't turn off automatically like when you lock the doors?
No, it doesn't. The Germans expect more.
Apparently.
They expect more out of you, and rightly so. I feel like an idiot every time. Anyway, this car, everything I've said is true, but this car is amazing. This is an all-wheel drive car that has an internal combustion drivetrain up front and an electric in the back. And if you have it fully charged, if you have this car with some real juice in it, it's a lot of fun. So I did. It snowed on Monday, and as any red-blooded American with a fully rear-wheel drive electric car is want to do,
empty parking lot.
Find a parking lot, and
donuts.
you go and do donuts. Now, here's the problem, Brian. Do you know about this?
What's that?
You cannot.
It doesn't like it.
You cannot turn stability control off entirely in full electric mode.
That's
you
correct.
Know that?
You cannot. Yeah.
And it's really hard to do donuts
because it doesn't have a connected driveline, so it's freaking out.
Major flaw. It should because last year when I talked to the lead engineer on this car, he even kind of mentioned that it's really fun because it feels like a rear-wheel drive car, and it actually does. It really does in that mode. But for those who are curious, I know many of you are. You can't. It's not a car that you can do donuts in really cleanly. So keep looking for that car. But what is amazing to me is there's a seamlessness, like a real seamlessness to the transition from petrol to electric.
Okay.
You hear the petrol. There's no question. This is 3-cylinder. I love the sound of the 3-cylinder. You definitely hear it, but there is a seamlessness even in save battery mode. You feel electric is still there. It's still happening. There's always that sort of regeneration. The percent of battery, the car really protects the last few percent really well. So it has to. And it's so smart. It's so smart. I give BMW so much credit for the way they've designed, and it's very similar to the X5 and the other hybrids they have. They have designed it in a way that you never run out of battery. And then that's one of the big things that I think people don't understand. There's this, and I include myself in this, there's this sort of notion where you see that percent and you're just completely obsessed with that percent. When is it going to go down?
Range anxiety.
It hits zero. Well, the reality is it does not hit zero. The car protects that. It regenerates. And what you end up with is essentially a car that while you can't run in full electric mode at certain moments, you get the benefits of the hybrid and of that power that the electric engine outputs. basically all the time. Now, are you going to get the full benefit? Not necessarily, but you get enough benefit where the car feels that you get that electric sort of feel at times. The full just from a consumer's experience or sort of a consumer's point of view, the car feels like a hybrid pretty much all of the time.
Nice.
And I think that once you stop worrying about your range in a car that only has 15 miles of pure electric, you're better off.
Right.
Once you stop worrying about that and just sort of embrace this thing as it stands, it's really a great car. And in my average, to answer your question, I think I'm in the 70s right now.
Wow.
That'd be about right.
Which is the real world advantage. You're giving up the sacrifice of a car that says, would feign to say, as fun as a JCW. It's not as fun. But like you said, it's a hybrid. People are getting a different experience out of it. But there's your advantage: is 70 miles to the gallon.
Yeah,
and it's a smaller gas tank too.
It is a smaller gas tank. The range is low. That's the other thing. But
which consider we haven't talked about that before because the regular Countryman has this is a whopping 16-gallon gas tank.
Oh my God, that's huge.
Yeah, on the normal Countryman.
Wow.
Mini's never had a tank that big.
Yeah. Hey, so, you know what other Mini got 70 miles? You know what other Mini got 70 miles to the gallon, right, Gabe? The Mini diesel. Oh, we didn't get that one in the United States. Never mind. Carry on.
72, DB, 72.
Yeah.
So no, in all seriousness, I was in the 80s today. Last I checked, and I'm just trying to be conservative because I assume it went down a little bit. But
nice.
It's I think it's interesting because I would say that for the majority of consumers out there who are looking at leasing a Mini Countryman S, who don't mind 36 to 40 grand, whatever, I'm going to lease it, or I'll just put it on 5 years, low APR. You guys are running deals, great. I need payments at this number. Spend a little bit more and get the hybrid. If you are doing a urban style commute, especially. Mm-hmm. And it is ideal for that. So the driving I do in Chicago, it is ideal for that. There's no question. There's a few other aspects that I want to talk about though that I think is interesting. When you think about and Todd, you talked about this actually a couple shows ago. So what if I live in an apartment? I am 28 years old. Working in an ad agency. I have a beard. I like artisanal cheese. I'm trying to. You guys have such a fixation of hipsters. It's so bizarre to me, by the way.
We only do it, Gabe, because it's funny.
It's so funny and bizarre. But I'm going to go with this for a second.
Go with it, and then I'll explain exactly why.
Well, maybe I'll get some of it right. I don't know, but the point is that you've got a certain demographic that does not have the facilities available to them, despite the fact that they're bringing home, plenty of cash. They can afford this, they can do that, but they live in an urban environment and they don't have a garage to charge the car, or if they do. It's whatever. They're not even thinking about it that much because they're 30 years old and they're idiots. And so you've got suddenly this question of, well, am I going to get the money out of this car if I never plug it in, or if I rarely plug it in? And I have to say, you kind of don't. And I feel like that's almost the threshold that you have to look at. Like, if you never plug in this car, I actually don't think this is the right car for you.
No, not at all. Why?
No, I agree.
Why? Yeah, it makes.
And so it's.
Will it
work as a hybrid? Sure, it'll work, but you're gonna tax the hell out of it by doing so. It's not what it's designed. It's not its natural habitat. And just don't get it.
You're only using half the car at
that point. Exactly. If you have a space to plug it in on a nightly basis, you're gonna get your 15 miles a day out of it or whatever. I'm lucky. My garage at work has got a couple spots. If I can. If I could, sort of like intimidate the Tesla drivers, which are very easy to intimidate, by the way, and get them out of those spots, I'm A-okay, and I can plug in, and I'm good to go.
Nice. Yeah, you're like, dude, so it's 200 and some miles on a charge. You don't need to plug in. What the F?
Yeah, I know it is a little ridiculous. But I will say this. The Tesla drivers are the ones that don't coil.
Are you kidding me, really?
That is so not cool.
Freaking entitled bastards.
Yeah, exactly. You just let it lie in the ground like idiots. But
that's why we can't have nice things.
And what I think is so amazing about this car is it's the i8, more or less. It's the i8 drivetrain with severe modifications, turned backwards.
Okay.
Right. This is a really ingenious system. It works in concert with each other perfectly. There is a moment where on kickdown where I need the power, I don't get it sometimes. That has happened twice now, but I ask a lot of these things. I'm in city driving, and it's a war.
But who's the star for? I just want to know who is the market in the United States? Who is the market for this car?
Me, exactly me.
Yeah. Gabe lives in the suburbs. He's got children, and he needs a way to get back and forth to work and haul his kids and all their junk around.
Well, no, I mean, it's not that. It's basically. I mean, I'm in the city. And then to the suburbs. I'm in the city, and I am doing city driving. Basically, I have anywhere from a 20 to 120 minute commute in a city. Yeah. So that's it, and I have the flexibility to charge my car in either end of my commute. That's it. So there's actually, I would say, in Chicago, New York, LA, name your big city. Like there's a huge market for this car, and I think it should sell really well. In fact, I think it should probably be the car that a lot of urban folks look at. It should be. I don't know if it will be, but
here's the problem, Gabe. They don't know about it.
That's true.
Nobody knows this car exists right now.
Not part of the epic experience, Todd. I just got tequila down the wrong tube here. That's true. No, that is actually true. They don't know about it. I would love to see advertisements, if you will, about the fact that you can have a front wheel drive Mini during the week and a rear wheel drive Mini on the weekend.
Well, and what's crazy to me is that the press release that came out, I mean, this is like a month ago now from Mini BMW corporate, about how 1 in 10 Countrymen sold worldwide are these plug-in hybrids. And I couldn't have said louder to myself, bullshit. Because how do people even know this exists? Nobody in the United States even knows this car exists.
Well, not only that, we didn't have enough cars here.
Not even that. Yeah, exactly. So I asked our friends at Mini USA, and they had no answer for me. And I think that, partly because they don't have an answer and they want one, right, or they don't want to tell me the answer because they don't like it either.
But I want to know, from parts of the world, how
they're selling all of them they can sell. Oh. And that is the case not just in the United States, but probably in Europe as well, from what I'm hearing. So I would suspect that this is a very strategic thing. When you think about how you profit on vehicles, if I'm going to move production of said components to a hybrid, I may move them to these 2 Series hybrid that I sell in Europe that I make more profit on than the Mini more readily. And I may let the Mini have a limited production for 2017 and maybe early 18 while everything else ramps up.
See, now we're running into the problem of BMW being such a big company is they clearly don't care as much about the Mini because it's not making as much money as something like
I don't think hybrid. I think it's they care about the bottom line for their company and the survival of their company. So I think that's fair. I mean, I would do the same thing.
Nope, I don't blame them one bit, and I think the victims of it are the consumers in the U.S. because it's like, well, they can't sell this for people aren't going to spend.
Philosophical thought: are they victims if they don't know they're being victimized?
Well, I don't know. The thing is people will spend the money on a BMW because it's got the BMW marquee and it has for years, but not on a Mini because I hear the number one complaint for people right now is that you know what? Minis are too expensive. And the people who are leaving the brand for reasons other than, yeah, my last Mini was a piece of crap that fell apart all the time and spent, so much time in the dealer. I put $7,000 into it, blah, blah, blah. Right now, the comments I hear consistently from people is that Minis are too expensive. Okay.
Yep.
Now,
so
whether
I actually think
whether it's true or not,
I don't think they are. I think that's people. I think there's people who grow tired of a brand, and they see a brand. And frankly, here's the deal: the average price. Look it up. The average price of a car has gone up pretty substantially in the past 10 years.
I'm not saying I agree with him, Gabe. I think you're right. I think it's
look at the baseline Mini and look at the and look at the percent it's increased versus the increase of the average car price, and it's pretty much the same. In fact, I think the baseline Mini is less.
Yeah, comparatively.
So
I
think that's is it called fake news? Is that what it's called?
I wouldn't even say that. I think it's a perception problem because in truth,
I think it is. You're right.
Gabe, you can go out and you can buy a car for $20,000 now. Not a Mini. You can't buy a Mini for $20,000, but you can buy other cars for the $20,000 to $25,000 range. You can buy some Minis for $25,000.
I was just looking at the Mini tonight for $1,300, by the way, in Craigslist.
Nice.
Well, you see where we're going.
But guys, it said you have to. No, in fact, it says you must call Leo. So I don't know what that means.
Oh, it sounds like we might have a winner there. I don't know. Gabe, I know I speak for everybody else. We look forward to your full write-up once you get all your thoughts together about the new Countryman. Sounds like it'll be pretty awesome.
Yes.
Well, the car is good. It's good, for sure.
Okay, good. Now that we've got that settled.
Be on the lookout. Like next year, as 2018 is around the corner, we need to be on the lookout for what my next car is going to be.
Ah.
Not this car. You drive too much.
What's that?
Your distances are too long.
Yeah. No, Gabe, you know how many? Here's the thing. I put 600 miles a month on a car.
Is that high or low?
That's low.
That's nothing. I could.
Low.
I could.
Oh, then buy this. Buy the hybrid. Well,
I drive 1,000 miles a month in comparison.
Okay.
On average.
So basically, Gabe, I put about 7,500 miles a year on a car.
Short distances.
That's bull. Yeah.
And so here's the deal, Tom. I've been in Kansas City enough to know that everything is an hour away from everything.
Yeah. Unless you know the secret ways, Gabe.
Oh, God.
I mean, unless your burb is close to the other burb that you're going to.
I just put it this way. Yeah, exactly. I know all of the tunnels, the secret tunnels.
Let's just be honest. Do you take the monorail?
No, Todd's like that scene in LA Story where Harris K. Telemacher's just driving through people's backyards and down the center median of the road. That's Todd driving around Kansas City.
I have no shits left to give. Come
on. Well played. Well played. All right. Well, that said, we'll tackle that in a future show. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
In fact, it sounds like a Craigslist challenge.
quite possibly.
Yeah.
It does.
What?
Now I'm confused.
I'm going to end up with a freaking moped, guys.
Yeah, the next show we're all going to pick Todd's car with a budget of $3,000, and it has to be built before night.
You all pick.
Go ahead, Chad.
It has to be out of the 80s
someday.
Yeah. That's the wrong show. That's the Scooterfile podcast. Scooterfile.com. He's not doing a podcast, but that's Scooterfile.
Yes.
Yes. But really quick, before we continue.
Yes.
I want to take one more quick break because it is the silly season. I want to remind you guys about our friends over at Craven Speed, cravenspeed.com. Go over there for all the really cool custom parts for your Mini. R50, R53, R56, F56, everything. The platypus mount, the FlexPod adapter for your phone, the shorty antenna, the short shift kit, the pulley for you R53 owners, and a litany of other things, including a dipstick and stuff for other cars, not even Minis. If you've got a Mini in the driveway and something else, there's a good chance Craven Speed makes something cool for the something else. Go over there, check it all out. Hurry up and get your order in, or call Chad over to Troy Tune and he'll get it to you before Christmas. You got to be quick though. We're not messing around anymore, guys. That's our friends over at Craven Speed, cravenspeed.com. We love them so much. Go check them out if you would, please. Okay, let's move on. Because now you guys are just boring me. Not really. Gabe, are you still with us?
I am.
This is something that we've done in the past. We haven't done one in a while just because we've been a bunch of angry old guys, and I didn't want to be angry old guys for the final show of 2017. And this is a Top Gear-ish style challenge that I issued to the lads earlier today to take roughly $1,000 of their own money and peruse Craigslist.
Which I kind of laughed, DB, when you gave us the challenge, because for me, I mean, I'm not trying to say anything, but $1,000 is like tip money for a weekend in Vegas. I'm kind of like, can
if I go with you to Vegas, can you tip me $1,000?
Yeah. Me too.
It's not
so Todd's gonna be our George Clooney, but he's only gonna give 1,000 instead of $1 million.
There's one. You get the zeros wrong. I do that all the time, except for the opposite.
The rounding.
There's one news story.
Yeah.
I feel is worth talking about, and I don't want to break our flow.
Is it the panic about R50 and R53 parts becoming scarce?
Well, that actually could be fun to talk about.
Or is it the Tony Hawk skate park in St. Louis?
No, it's not that.
Is it the small crossover?
It's the tiny crossover. It's the small, cute, tiny little crossover.
No, it's going to look like a.
Which, by the way, it's going to look like a 4-door. Bring this up is because Todd, this fixes the problem with the F55. It makes it cool.
Yep, it does. It makes it cool, and it does what it's many following the lead of companies like Toyota and Honda right now because they both have done it with the Toyota popular, the RAV4. Now they've got the small one. What does Toyota call it? I
forgot what the small one is, but I know the Honda is the HRV.
HRV.
Yeah, and the RAV4 is something very similar to that.
Yes.
It's like a CHV or something. It takes the Honda letters and it mixes them around or something. But anyway, Toyota and Honda both have now a small mini Ute crossover, if you will, and it would make total sense.
And VW's got the T-Rock, which is, by the way, one of the best effing names of all time.
T-Rock, I saw him live here in Phoenix.
He opened up for Snoop Dogg.
He did, and it was a pretty badass show.
T-Rock is a transformer that also is a car. Anyway, no, but I think it's funny because I have been thinking about this for a while, and there's clearly going to be some changes in the Mini lineup for the next generation. Everything makes a lot of sense when you start to when you shift things to taller vehicles. As far as I freaking hate it. I started see DB, by the way. Did you notice how I'm using freaking and effing?
I really appreciate that. I appreciate the added professionalism you've brought to the evening's proceedings, Mr. Bridger. Thank you.
Well, it's rare.
It is very rare.
The point is though. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think it's atrocious. Like, why are you giving me, an extra 200 pounds of mass up high? I don't need to sit up higher. I'm not scared. I don't drive. I don't need to see like over things.
Sure.
But everybody else does.
Yeah.
And apparently they'll pay extra. So why not profit from that?
Here's the problem in the U.S., Gabe, though, is I think that the best-selling car in the United States right now is a Ford F-150, which is a giant truck. Okay. Now. You're sitting at a stoplight.
It is the bar.
Whatever, and it's next to you, and you can't see around it. What do you want? What's more frustrating? And I think that's why a lot of people are like, "Screw it! Everybody else is driving these giant vehicles."
Well, yeah, we've been talking about this since like the 2003 time period. It's an arms race. Now, I will say, like you don't see those vehicles very often in Chicago or New York or whatever, but still, it doesn't change the fact that like everything seems to be tall.
Yeah. So, Gabe,
By the way, the last time I was in Kansas City, I rented a car, Todd.
Yeah.
And guess what I got?
What's the ugly Ford? The C whatever.
The Mustang.
No. F-150.
You got an F-150 as a rental.
I insisted.
When in Rome, Gabe, right? When in Rome.
It was either that or I think, though, the only two cars you can rent in Kansas City are an F-150 and a Camaro.
I just threw my luggage in the back. I stopped
Did you get a pizza? Did you get some
station.
Did you get some
I got
chewing
a
gum?
64-ounce MGD and I opened it up and I drove like I was in Kansas.
And here's the thing: he left his luggage in the back, and he just left it there the entire time he was in Kansas City, and it was still there. So that's
true. That's true.
See, there you go.
But in all seriousness, I think it's interesting. I think it's awesome. It goes back to, which is a larger discussion. Will Mini still have a wagon in the United States, the Countryman or the Clubman?
No.
I hope they do, because I think that it is the ideal, like the 46 wagon, BMW 3 Series wagon.
Gabe, not to crush your.
As everybody knows, as every enthusiast knows, those cars are sought after. It's funny, BMW guys and BMW folks who actually manage this process at BMW all laugh about it, because they're like, of course it's the best vehicle. Of course it is. We buy them. Journalists buy them used, because journalists are poor.
But no,
and nobody else except for professors buy them.
Wasn't the BMW 3 Series wagon, isn't the one that Todd had that snapped in half?
No. I had it. I loved it. It was a great car and got a good money for it when we traded up.
Oh, okay.
But my thing is that not to crush on Gabe's hopes and dreams here, but the Clubman is selling worse than the Paceman right now.
It's not.
It's sub Paceman.
The Paceman the Paceman sold two units last month.
Oh, no, I don't mean like currently. I just mean like progressive.
Am I right?
How is that even possible?
As my 5-year-old son says, Todd, burn.
Oh.
Just
nice.
saying.
Let's go ahead and let's be done with this. Let's move on to some shenanigans.
You're right. We should be done.
Let's be done. Let's move on to some shenanigans. As I started to say before, Top Gear-ish, style-ish challenge to find something slightly comical for about $1,000. I actually put a year limit on this challenge as well, but Todd was having trouble finding nothing but rusted out shells, so I lifted the year requirement. So essentially what we're doing is we have $1,500 to spend and to find a 1980 to 1985 automobile. And I'm going to, just because he's been talking a lot of trash all day, I'm going to let Brian go first.
All right.
This is going to be this week's show image, by the way, will be a diptych of all these images, because everybody's going to put one in the Slack.
Yeah, I'm just gonna raise the bar right off the bat. This is a 1984 Nissan Sentra for $999 in Port Orchard, Washington. But I want you guys to take a look at some of the photographs, and then I'm going to hear your reactions, because here it comes in the Slack. So. Yeah, this little jewel has been lightly driven.
God, is that a chrome license plate? I mean, a chrome fuel door?
Oh wait, just wait for it. This is a Nissan Sentra electric.
Dude, it's got a
Oh my god. The batteries, by the way, the car batteries alone are worth more than the car.
Yep.
What is that round thing? What is that red?
Is that the motor?
It must
yes.
be. Oh my god! It's like, guys, have you ever owned a really big RC car?
No, this is like somebody. No, dude, this is golf cart internals and a Nissan Sentra.
By the way, it also has a solid amp. Too.
It's a dryer.
It does.
Dryer plug on the.
I told you.
Picture 11, by the way. I like that there's safety goggles that have been left in the photo.
There's exposed wires inside the car.
Dude, this is awesome.
Safety goggles in there really indicates the level of care you need as a driver.
The third line in the description is runs under its own power, but
okay, I love it.
But what? Fred Flintstone?
Yeah, it's not even a ... It just ends.
Scroll to the one picture and zoom in. There's a Post-it note under the hood with literally handwritten on a Post-it note that says "kill switch."
Yes, I'm seeing that now.
Bad. But I will say the fourth bullet point.
Oh, Brian, you win.
This is a battery car. Yeah. Fourth bullet point, best one. Needs new batteries.
Needs new batteries. Yep. Yeah. Okay, yep. Brian, we might have a winner here already. Good grief.
But it's got more range than a PHEV.
It's a few miles an hour. Question mark.
Gosh.
Christmas voice.
Oh, God.
I love these statements. Was going to get better, lighter batteries for it, but have other projects ahead.
Oh, that's fantastic, Brian. Nicely done.
Nice, well played. Very interested.
Let's see. Chad, are you with us still?
He is. He's typing.
I can hear you a little bit here and there. My internet's so sketchy.
Okay, let's see if we can sneak yours in really quick. Maybe.
Chad's trying.
Oh, here we go. Here comes Chad.
Oh, wait, here. Anchorage. Oh, God.
Oh,
Is it in Alaska?
dude, it's in Alaska.
Yeah.
An 81 VW Rabbit diesel for $1,500. Oh, yeah. Covered in snow.
Just have to dig it out of the snow.
It's got red...
And
it's got a really nice dash.
Yep.
It's got a blue interior.
And only 154,000 miles. That's pretty low.
Comes with free snow. But it gets 52 miles to the gallon.
Too.
Yeah, 52 miles to the gallon. That's impressive.
Yeah. It might be better than the electric car.
Well, except someone's got a small issue, though, Chad. I don't know if you read the whole text.
I love the description where it says, can be driven onto a trailer carefully, but not on the road, as brakes can go inoperable.
Yes.
And don't forget the only other issue. Don't forget the other issue on this car is the driver's side floor pan is rusted through. And
well, that's because you need the Fred Flintstone brakes to make the thing stop.
Wow.
Chad,
can't happen.
That's a good choice, Chad. I'm pretty pleased with that. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Good. That's solid work.
That is solid work. Yeah.
52 miles to the gallon. Hello.
Yeah, okay, Brian. Come
Downhill.
Because it doesn't stop. Because it doesn't stop. No break. It's just always running.
All right, I already like Todd's choice, and I tried to do this for my choice, but I couldn't find it. I tried to keep it local, and I tried to play within my initial spirit of the game. So Todd, just because I like yours, go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to give I tried the El Camino. It was a 1977 El Camino, but it was $2,800. Oh. Can you believe the cost of El Camino, like used El Camino?
Dude, that's because it's a badass car.
So instead, I went with the 2000.
That's not really what you're picking, is it? Oh my God.
No. I went with the 2001 Pontiac Grand Prix GT with
I was looking at the Grand Prix.
Oh my God! Look at that interior.
Look at the interior, and this is what I said. I'm pretty sure the car is only $900 because someone was murdered inside this car. Everything is painted. And
many vents. So many vents.
Dude, it's all been painted on the inside. What's going on?
And there's cloth all over, like this strange blue cloth and blue LED lighting. It's got disc lighting.
I wonder if...
No car has ever needed to be cooled more than this car.
Yeah. Because all events. I think they're fake.
There's so much ram air effect happening.
I think they're just stick-on, Gabe. I don't think there's actually any holes.
I actually made
J.C. Whitney, part number VNT.
That car just says fast.
And it's teal. And I think in the description, it comes with its own mullet.
Hey, that's good. That's fantastic right there, Todd. Well done.
$190 for a 2001 Pontiac Grand Prix GT.
Yes, well done. I gotta say, Todd, that is a fine choice, my friend.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Very good. Yeah. Very good. I'm gonna go ahead and go, and we're gonna save Gabe for last. I'm in Arizona, and as most of you know or don't know, Arizona is the state where all the old people come to visit their parents. So when you actually search for something in this range, I'm very limited. There was a Mitsubishi Bi-Turbo that I was really interested in, but it didn't have a steering wheel or a title, so I kind of skipped on that one. So instead, I went with the 1982 Mercedes-Benz 300 Turbo Diesel.
That's a collector car right there, my friend.
For 50, and it's in the Mercedes Butter Yellow. It's got the tan interior, a little bit of wear and tear on the seats, not too horrible. Only 201,000 miles. I mean, what more do you want, right?
The body's in amazing shape.
It's in amazingly good shape. This car had 87 horsepower.
Wow!
Back when it was new, yeah.
And they're still asking $1,500 for
and they're
this.
Still
thing.
asking $1,500. Yeah. It's got a full size spare. It's got a container to catch oil. This one does have its small little foibles as well, though. It does have a small coolant leak that needs to be topped off every week or so. And
I love it.
And then it's fine.
I love the estimated mileage is 207,000.
Yeah.
Because clearly the odometer stopped at 201,000.
Or they disconnected it.
Yeah, they're like, we think it's got another 6,000 miles on it, but we're not sure.
Yeah, exactly. It can do highway speeds. It takes you probably a day and a half to get up to highway speeds, but hey, it'll do highway speeds. I don't know. I think I get it pretty good. Not nearly as funny as like Brian's or Todd's, but hey, that's pretty good. In 1982, Mercedes-Benz. So it's actually a C300 turbo diesel.
Dude, I think the chrome grill on the thing.
Yeah, I was just going to look at the grill on that. It's got some issues.
It's epic.
The grill.
It's epic.
All right.
It's amazing.
I'm pretty impressed. That's kind of legit. That may be, I don't know. I feel like that.
You know what? I'm looking at the blown up picture of the side view here, and it's got chrome mirrors. Pretty nice. It's got some proper dings in it. Like, I don't know, if that could possibly
patina.
be... Patina. That's like a bull.
Well, let's be honest, DB. Not only is the color great, but the high beams being yellow.
Oh, see?
Huge extra points.
Huge
extra points.
Yeah, you can't buy them like that.
That screams grandpa. Dude, that just screams grandpa.
No, it doesn't. It screams Nazi sympathizer.
Oh gosh, that's so bad.
It screams, I'm living under an assumed name.
All right, so guys, I'm gonna show you where it started.
All right,
because this is a journey.
We're gonna let Gabe finish it.
I started here, and I really think
it's just parts.
I really think that I could have made something work with it.
So Gabe's first choice was some Porsche 944 body parts for $750.
Oh my god, a roof and a hood.
I was convinced I could have made something work here.
And
then I just want you to know that I went a little bit west and a little bit closer to home. And I found something a little bit, I felt like, wait a second, here we are. Here's something that makes sense to me.
This car doesn't have a motor.
Listen, the on this for $150, and if I could because this clearly needs a hood, and what we have on the other link is a hood. So now, see what I'm saying? So I feel like there's opportunities to piece these together.
For the benefit of our listeners, Gabe's got a 1983 Porsche 944 that isn't so much a car as a planter.
It's already started.
There's actually got a plant on it.
The wheels, those bottle cap wheels, man.
But there's only it's missing at least
only
one.
Two of them, though.
Only got one.
There's a giant hole in the engine compartment. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah,
but
it's missing an
engine.
engine.
That's where I was like, okay, I'm gonna go find an engine.
Okay.
And I was gonna build this car vertically, and I'm not gonna lie, couldn't find it. And I thought about, listen, I could find a small block Chevy, and that would be fun.
Oh yeah.
And I could piece it together. And even in this virtual Craigslist world, it was too much work. So I kind of gave up, and then I thought, well, what if I just like give up and tuck my tail between my legs and get a compressor as a hilarious vehicle for $1,000
for $800.
I thought, no, I cannot own a hairdresser's.
No.
The Mercedes,
especially in that color.
Can I go back to the Porsche once again? Because if you look at the car, the picture of the 944 with no engine, that's pretty much a planter.
Yes.
Do you see there's a hang tag in the window of this car like it's in service?
From his job.
But get it, the number on the hang tag is 944.
944.
I like to think that's a personalized license plate.
That's like the guy that goes to Carl's Jr. or Hardee's and takes the 69 tag off the table and takes it with him. It's the same thing.
I want you to know that I thought, I got to do this right. I'm going to just go in on an E30, and that's all I could find. And I was all ready to show it and say, this is my pick. Then I realized it does not run.
It needs to be towed. That's first three words.
I feel, and I always love the needs no alternator $40 from the dealer. Like that's always whatever it needs. Only $40. That never works. So I thought, no, that's not fair. That I can't do that. And there's a lot of different scenarios here. I had an MR2 picked out, and I thought, you know what, screw it. Wait,
thank you.
One question: does this have to be road legal?
No, we'll say no. We'll say no.
No.
But it does have to kind of run.
I've always wanted to own a Honda CRX.
I've owned.
I almost picked a race car.
I wanted to race a CRX. Why not buy a CRX race car?
And this one's already a lemon race car.
In the hood.
It is. That's a Lemon's car right there.
All I see is has 1.8 rebuild engine, has 5-speed transmission, LA Racing rims, runs great, all caps.
There you go.
In $1,000 Oswego. I don't know where that is, but I will go there.
Or best offer, even.
Yeah.
Or best offer.
The hood's worth that $1,000 on its own.
Oh, at least it's got the hand scrolled in Cheech and Chong up in smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and you know what? That interior shot.
Amazing.
That interior shot's you got your own coolant reserve right there.
Exactly. I was going to say something there.
You'd be surprised.
The exposed.
I like that Cheech and Chong.
I like the exposed wiring in here. It's very artisanal, Gabe. The exposed wiring in the.
It's got a hell of a clock in it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! You can't miss that clock. Holy cow!
We could do an entire show. Remember our friend Eric Kennedy from years ago?
Yes.
He and I had a connection to with CRXs back in the day. He loved it. We could do an entire CRX sub show.
We really could.
On this,
Gabe, I'm impressed. This is well done. You've picked a Lemons car. Nicely done.
And well, I think we all knew that was where it was going, but I think more importantly, it comes with what appears to be an unopened bottle of coolant.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah,
which is, I think
it's like an added it's like an added bonus, and like some other random cardboard box of parts underneath the bottle of coolant.
Chrome bumpers that don't belong on that car.
No. Yeah,
and the shocks that belong to them are pretty impressive.
Yeah. Gabe, this is nice. This is nice.
That's where I netted out. I wanted to go European, but when it comes down to it, for $1,000 and you want something to run, a Japanese vehicle is probably the way to go. And 80s or early 90s. Yeah. As an owner, a part owner of a 1986 MR2,
yes,
kind of hard to beat.
Yeah. Nice done. For those of you wondering the cars that we actually picked, I know this doesn't translate well to radio, but it was fun to do. That's this week's show image is a picture of all of our cars. The winner will be the primary vehicle, and I hate to say this, but I got to give the win to Brian Sentra. I really do.
Yes. Yeah, the electric.
Yeah, I agree.
Brian Sentra is definitely the winner. I'd link
Welcome to Freaky Washington, everybody.
I would link up the Craigslist ad, but it'll probably be deleted by the time you guys get this. But you'll see that very nicely patinaed Nissan Sentra right there, front and center.
And don't contact this guy because I have a feeling that the person selling that car is the kind of person who, like, you would talk to once and never be able to get rid of them.
Yep, definitely.
Or Todd, or the other scenario is he's on the run.
Yeah. That's it.
Definitely a mouth breather with a neck beard.
He literally is wearing a tinfoil hat, and I'm not.
It's like an old. It's like an old guy, and he doesn't have any friends. He just lives up in the woods with his cats, and builds his golf cart cars. And you don't want to talk to that guy.
But in reality, he's a billionaire because he he created software back in the 80s. So, he was like a Fortran genius.
Exactly.
Nice. Gentlemen, thanks for playing. That was a lot of fun. And, to everybody out in White Roof Radioland, I hope you enjoyed that as well. Like I said, this week's show image is all the vehicles that we actually picked, and this is called the Sentra. And so check it out. We had a lot of fun doing it. Do you guys ever do fun games like that with your friends? You sit around, you've had one too many craft beers or whatever your poison of choice happens to be, and you do something like this? Let us know. Leave a note in the comments at whiteroofradio.com. I really don't have anything else. Do you guys have anything else? Does anybody have anything else before we end for 2017?
Can I just say that I feel like we're here to talk about minis.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about minis, and it's we're moving towards 2018. 2018 is going to be a big year for this brand.
It's going to be a huge year.
I mean, It's going to be big. It's got to be, but it's going to be big because the cars that we all like, the smaller ones, typically, they're being refreshed. There's going to be new engines, new transmissions, new lights, new logos, new screens, new things. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think that oftentimes like the LCI or the refresh is like always the car that the designers and the engineers wanted to launch back 3-4 years ago. So I think we're going to see the F56 kind of come into its own.
Well, and here's a quick update because people have talked about this, and I know I talked about it a few shows ago about how Mini was going to do a restoration project of an R53.
Yes,
that's been put on hold.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm giggling a little bit because I think they kind of got into it and tried and went, we have this budget of X number of dollars, which was nowhere near enough money to make this happen. And so that's been put on hold for now.
Oh, drat. Well, now I'm sad.
Sad day.
Yeah, it's a good thing they decided against that because I read over on Motoring File that there's actually a problem getting parts for those older cars. There's a lot of panic in the street.
Who would have known? I should have kept that JCW leather dash,
dude. Or any of your JCW leather steering wheels, or
I had so much JCW leather.
I know, I did too. I sold some to Nathaniel back in the day. I had some down tubes that I sold to him.
I wonder where that.
Leather down tubes, man.
Nice, nice. All right.
Yeah, I've got a lot of JCW stuff, old classic stuff sitting around doing nothing. I feel like there's a eBay situation.
Yeah, I think we need to have a giant mini parts garage sale because I have
that's what we need to do.
Full of things like steering wheels.
Todd, don't you have like 17 cents of wheels too?
I have currently 6 sets of wheels.
What is wrong with you?
Jesus,
that's a little aggressive. If
you get any more, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to sign some kind of an agreement with the local discount tire store.
They're all 4-luggers though, right?
No. I've got 1, 2, 3 sets of new, 3 sets of new F56 wheels.
Oh, okay.
And they're all. And here's the thing, you guys are. This is going to shock you. Every set of wheels I have are JCW branded wheels.
Yeah.
But
Todd's snows are JCW. The $4,000 set of wheels. That's what Todd runs when it snows. $4,000 set of wheels. I
need to just have a garage sale, and that way I'll buy my next car. We'll just sell all these JCW wheels.
And you'd probably be able to get something better than a moped.
Like $97,000 of wheels in my garage for crying out loud. I'll buy a Tesla, man. Come on.
You could buy a used Leaf for that kind of money. Have some change left over to tip somebody in Vegas.
There you go.
Just the new Leaf looks a little bit better.
Nope.
Am I right? Or
no. You're insane. It looks like a small version of a minivan.
Awful.
It looks
it really
horrible.
does.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why do electric cars have to be so effing ugly?
Why do all cars have to be ugly? It's insane.
All right.
I mean, why doesn't everybody buy a Mini? Because they just look better.
Right? Gabe, I have a question. Gabe, I have a question. Yep. I want you to ponder until next time we meet. You earlier during this episode, you were saying how you are really against the cars being taller. That's really bothering you. The way cars are growing taller, and so you can see over things. So this is my question to you. Which would you rather? Are you ready? A taller car or a car with the giant mouth, like the new Lexus grills, where the whole front end is
care about a mouth. I don't care about a mouth at all.
You'd rather have a giant mouth than a taller car?
Function is the only thing that matters to me.
Whoa.
If that mouth does not actually contain mass, then
I don't
great,
think it does.
fine. I want my mass low.
Well, okay.
That's what she said.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
I set you up, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, gang, we are done for the year 2017. We're gonna close the book on this one. We will be back in January. I hope everybody enjoys their holiday, whichever one you happen to celebrate. Christmas for most of us here, I believe, except for Brian. He's weird, but whatever. We still let him on the show.
Freddie, you still Kwanzaa?
I'm not a Kwanzaa.
He's not that weird. And that's DB at whiteroofradio.com.
Yes.
Wait, you're Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah today, right?
Thank you. Yeah,
tomorrow,
today is day 2. Yeah.
Exactly.
Day 2. So all of my Jewish friends, I was like so excited. I'm like, I'm going to group text. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be emoji filled,
but I can't figure out how to spell
emoji. There's no emoji Hanukkah. There's nothing.
There's no menorah emoji.
No.
There's nothing. I'm
nothing.
just telling you. I was really. As a Gentile was offended.
You know, Gabe, you should post something about that on Twitter.
Must be an iPhone thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, gang, we're done. Don't forget Patreon.
It's got Hebrew shit flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Just because he's Android.
There you go. There you go. Don't forget, gang, if you're getting a White Roof Radio, Jones, you can always go through the archives in your app of choice. Go back. All the shows are still there, like the last 300 at least. I think it's quite a few of them are in the feed. If you're looking for something else to listen to, you can also, if you're looking for something fun to listen to, go over and listen to Brian and I talk about bicycles at Ride Bikes Radio. Available any place you listen to White Roof Radio as well. Don't forget we're on Spotify now.
And if you want the adult version of White Roof Radio, it's called Black Roof Radio, and you have to get that over at Patreon,
patreon.com/White Roof Radio. There's a link at whiteroofradio.com, and there'll be a link in the show notes. Go ahead.
That's
Gabe.
where we talk about real stuff. That's where we talk about things where we say the word and all those things like
we
that.
We talked about Apple Store. We talked about all manner of things during Black Roof Radio this week. It's like a whole bonus episode for you guys. Every time we do one of these, we do one of those.
Is somebody fighting a dog?
I think there's a dog. There's a dog fight.
White
going on.
Roof Radio, dog
New Year
fighting
to
is not
everybody,
permitted within the show.
It's a canine insurrection going on.
Yeah, when my wife comes home, everything goes sideways.
Well,
That's what she said.
yikes.
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, we are definitely done.
There you go.
Gang, have a good holiday. Have a good New Year. We will see you in 2018.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, etc., etc.
Yes, of course. Don't forget all of the White Roof Radio sponsors, including motoringbadges.com and Detroit Tune, cravenspeed.com, and our friends over at motoring.com, if you please. But this is now the time of the show where I like to make that funny clicking sound, and then I say... Questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us, feedback@whiteroofradio.com. Till next year, gang, this DB, I am done.
Cheers.
See ya.
Happy New Year, everybody.
And
Cheers.
And happy Sideways Hanukkah.
Yeah.